Hey everyone, today is Friday, the 1st of February, so happy February. Last night I was up late, I was working on a D&D character. I'm replacing my combat medic in the game I started on my birthday with a scion, or at least that's my intention. The reason being is that I am not exactly thrilled with what I've made. Well, I mean, I'm very thrilled that what I made is as good as it is. A cleric combat medic is an amazing combination. The problem is that I've discovered I really don't like being the pure healer. That's not a thing for me. Also, in D&D, there's no room for a pure healing character. You need someone who can pull their weight in combat as well as perform maybe a secondary role. So in our group, we have a knight dwarven defender who is amazing at being a tank. He does damage, but not a lot. We have a ranger who has some substitution levels in there, so she is our rogue as well. And she is a ranged ranger. She's in bow and arrow. Very good at dishing out consistent damage. She ignores all damage reduction because she's using a force bow. And she's pretty much our skill monkey in the group, with a few support spells thrown in. We have a master specialist summoner. She is brilliant at populating the battlefield with a lot of things that are on our side. We never feel overwhelmed because we always have so many people on our side, thanks to her. And we also have an Ardent, I think I'm saying it right, which is a type of psychic character who has a wide array of very specialized abilities, who is essentially running around dealing out a lot of melee damage. So what we really need right now is a ranged damage dealer, and here I roll up with a cleric that's really only good at healing party members. So I'm replacing my character with a scion egoist. The egoist is a psychometabolism subset of all the types of scions. Like, you know how with wizards there are different specialties: conjuration, transmutation, blah blah blah. With scions, they have disciplines. And so it's like kineticist, where you specialize in psychokinetic powers and things like that. Only with a scion, you're not excluded from taking powers of that school or discipline. Each discipline has its own specialized list that gets powers added in that you can choose if you want to. So if I'm making a level 13, I currently have 25 powers on my list. And I've cherry-picked a few powers from my egoist list. And, so I'm going through it, I'm picking powers, and I'm having a tough decision with a couple of powers here and there. But for the most part, I'm doing all right. And I'm looking at equipment at the same time. I'm wondering what kind of a role I want him to fill when he's not manifesting powers. How am I going to play this guy? And then I remember I'm substituting the cleric, so I need to make sure that I have a way to heal other people in the party. So the primary mechanism for that is a second level egoist power. Actually, it might be third, I don't remember. But it's a power called empathic transfer. And what happens is I manifest a power onto an ally, and I heal them for X amount of damage. Whatever damage that is actually healed, I take half of it to myself. Then I have powers that I can manifest that allows me to heal myself or cleanse myself or what have you. The other augment I could do to this is, or the other way I can also do this is, say, I have an ally who's poisoned, diseased, what have you, ability damage, whatever. I can actually use a power called Oak Body, and it changes my physiology into that of oak. So I become immune to poison, disease, what have you. And anything that affects the respiratory system, I'm immediately immune to, what have you. So I can do empathic transfer, take that from them. I'm immune to a lot of it. If it's straight up damage, I take half damage, and then I can heal myself using a power called Body Adjustment. So, I mean, really, worst case scenario, I'm covered. I'm totally covered. Psionic restoration is also way better than normal restoration. It doesn't have a material component of, I think it's like 200 gold pieces worth of diamond dust per casting as a cleric. Psionic Restoration is a combination of all the restorations. It removes all ability damage, or at least 1 point of ability damage per caster level or something like that. It removes negative levels, it removes blah, 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 all that stuff, and it doesn't cost anything except power points, and it takes 3 rounds to manifest. So I'm definitely not doing it combat. I'll be doing it after combat, but most healing is done outside of combat. Any healing done inside combat is emergency quick fixes, and I don't really don't have those. I mean, aside from empathic transfer, which I can do easily, I don't have any quick fixes, and that's really where the Scion style healer falls short. So what I need to do is come up with a bunch of items that kind of give me that, what I used to have as the Cleric. Now, I'm not going to have the big bada burst heal. I'm not going to be able to stop people from dying. I can bring them back to life, but it costs me experience. And I really, really hate that mechanic. Really hate a mechanic that takes your hard-earned experience and just burns it away. The crafting system is riddled with that crap, and so too is a lot of the spells. Fine, make them take like a day to cast. Make them cost a lot of money or something. I don't know. I don't care. Bump them up in level. But why do you have to take my experience points away? I don't get that. But anyways, so I can bring people back from the dead, but I can't stop them from dying or any of that stuff unless I pick up some certain pieces of equipment. And I'm looking at a lot of equipment in the Magic Item Compendium, and a lot of it is designed around the base classes, not around Scions. Anything that is based around Scions came from the Expanded Psionics Handbook, and I'm also looking at the Complete Psionics, but really there's only 2 books with psionic equipment in them, and there isn't a lot of it I want or need. So I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And I got a few questions for my DM, so I'm going to ask them on Ventrilo while I'm posting up this video. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah, that's what I was up late last night working on that, and I felt I should share that. I'm still in the dark as to what I'm going to do next with videos. I hope everybody enjoyed the Awesome Knots video yesterday. If you didn't, sorry. But my channel. Yeah, so until next time, I don't know what I'm posting tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Until next time. Oh, new chair.